Well, hello. I was hoping to be able to record on the computer, the newer computer, which has been in the shop since last week, and they were supposed to have it done yesterday, but it's still not done, and I'm not going to be able to pick it up till this evening. They're open till 8 o'clock. So here I am still using the old computer, and the video title for the 3rd of November is Deciphering the News. And I wrote the title and blurb this morning. It's been a very busy day. Blurb goes like this. We all know, I hope, that mainstream news is mostly propaganda. Yes, lots of lies. Of course, those who run the mainstream also impregnate the alternative media found on the internet. This leaves us in a dilemma. How do we decipher what is really true? It's not easy most of the time, since we live in a world and swim in a sea of information and disinformation. The spiritual is no different than the political. As M. Scott Peck pointed out in his best-selling book, People of the Lie, 33 years ago. We all have things we'd like to be true, and those who are truly honest with themselves will, no doubt, change their minds over time as new information becomes established as truth. I'm sure this will happen for many in the current paradigm shift. At least I hope so. And yes, I do believe that the paradigm is shifting. We are being awakened, however slowly it may seem to those of us that have been involved in this for a long time. However, I do believe it is happening, even if I get frustrated so often with the slowness of it. I mean, as I've said in other videos, I expected it in 2011 or 2012. And here it is toward the end of 2016, and we still have criminals that are able to run for president, like Hillary. And I had a conversation with a few people at the school as I'm waiting to pick up my oldest granddaughter. And that's, by the way, my 5th trip to the schools today to either take my grandchildren to school or pick them up. My daughter is 6, so I inherited all of it. And Wednesdays are always the worst day because I have 3 grandkids and they all get out at a different time, an hour apart and then 45 minutes after that. So it's quite a conundrum for me. In any case, I'm sitting there talking to these people, and I could tell just from some of the conversation that some of them were for Donald Trump, and some of them, there was 3 of them, and some were obviously for Hillary. And as I've said before, I don't support either candidate at this point in time, and I probably won't vote, although I do not agree with Anna von Reich, who says don't vote, because when you vote, you're part of the corporation. I wish Anna von Reich's methodology and remedies would work. As I've said in other videos, I'm concerned that if I totally distance myself from the corporate government, they'll stop paying my Social Security, and then I'll have nothing to live on. And I can't handle that. But neither do I consider myself part of the corporate government. Yes, I have a driver's license. I was forced to get the driver's license. They put me in jail and arrested me for having an international permit to drive. They said it's not valid in the United States. It's only valid in other countries. Okay, that's the way it works. But I want change, and I want real change. I don't want pretend change. I want real change and a real government based on actual laws that protect the rights of every one of us, male, female, regardless of race. All of us are protected and given rights that, to me, are God-given. and they need to be honored. And that's the transition that I'm looking for and expecting. Now, I mentioned people of the lie, and I've read a little bit in between all of the giving rides to people today. I read some of Scott Peck's People of the Lie online, and it's a very, very good book. And of course, his original book, what was that? I forgot what that was titled, and I don't have the web page open. But The People of the Lie was his second book. His first book was probably the biggest bestseller of all of his books. But he's written several, and I guess he died a few years back. But in any case, it's stuff that we need to pay attention to. It's worth reading for those that are on a spiritual quest, as I've been for such a long time. And we have to somehow align ourselves and align the real powers that are, not the powers that pretend to be, but the real powers that are, if such a thing exists in the other dimensional realities, where we all live forever, where our souls are infinite and eternal. But we don't know that because we've been brainwashed and downgraded to something less than what we were created to be in the beginning. Anyway, folks, I really hope and pray that we can somehow sift through and determine what is the real truth. And I can't say it resonates because things resonate with me that I want to be true. And yet I know from experience that some of the things that resonated with me when I was younger no longer resonate with me. I no longer believe, for example, that Christianity is the only true religion. I believe that it, like all of the others, have been doctored with and messed with, and all of them diminish humanity and make humanity less than what we were created to be. We were created to be children of God, not with limited potential, but with unlimited potential. And that's just simply not the reality that we've experienced for millennia, unfortunately. So let's continue to try to hang in there and do the best we can, as I'm doing. I'll continue to make videos every day, even though some days it's harder than others. And some days I'm really down. I'm sort of too busy to be down today. I have too many things on my plate. But I do hope that there is a real transition taking place. I'd like to see as some people have predicted, I'd like to see the election in November thrown out and held off until a republic is reestablished and confirmed. Is that going to happen? I don't know. There are people saying that there's two republics. There's the cabal is actually working on reestablishing what they're going to pretend to be the republic, but it's not going to be the real republic. It's still going to be a corporation. If that's true, it's not a real republic. It can't be a corporation. Corporations are legal fictions, and they have no business existing in our world certainly not on an international level, and not even on a national level. It's okay to have companies, and if you want to, I don't know why you need to incorporate anything, because it makes it a fiction. That's what incorporation is. It's non-corporal. It's a fiction, and we need to get beyond the fiction to the reality. Anyway, I do appreciate those of you that hang in there with me and are still working and praying for good things to happen for humanity, that we might actually begin to see some of the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven on earth, because that's what I've wanted. And forget the news on the mainstream, and be careful of what's even on the internet, because there's a lot of lies. Thank you for listening and considering what I'm saying. Namaste.